Sting. Oh no, I feel like I should start the show like that. It's showtime! It's showtime! Oh no.
First of all, it sounds like you're crying, or someone's being attacked and you're trying to get other people's attention, or you're being attacked.
Help! Help!
It's
Someone's being
showtime.
verbally abused. He's being verbally abused on national television. He's being attacked, damn it.
It's showtime.
It's showtime. Showtime sounds like a bully that beats up everybody in the neighborhood the way I'm yelling it. It's showtime! Run! Run for your life!
I feel like this showtime is just basically your just Shogun all over again.
Shogun? You mean Show Enough?
Yeah, I don't care about that film nearly enough.
What the hell, Manny? What the hell? Anyway, something you do care about, and all these people care about, MJF rants on Tony Khan for about a good portion of the show. And
it wasn't even a good portion of the show. It was like 5 minutes.
It was like 5 minutes of ranting. And I want to say I stand with MJF, and I 100% agree that this is a work now, but I 100% agree with everything he said, just like I agree with Dan Lambert.
Yeah. So I got a text very early this morning that that read, let's do it. Manny, I know you're Thirst Trapper Jones, but the thumbnail has to be MJF. I'm leaving out the bit that where it just proves Marcus failed in his efforts today.
Yeah, I said I was going to take the facial reaction. Yeah, when you're awake, you're motivated, but when you're tired, you're not. And that's the deepest comment I come at when someone being as tired as I am. The bags under my eyes says no. Take your ass to sleep or something. You have no energy. You have no soul to do this. But
well, I knew this was going to be the thumbnail, but I did have these on standby.
I got a pair of these just in case. Well, Manny, if you are showing these images, it's the first time anybody has seen it, as in our show has officially had more views than NXT, I believe, at this point.
But to be honest, I believe this is the real go to sleep.
No, this is the real GTS. I enjoyed that elbow / jump spot. It was a good spot. Mandy had it coming.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll be back right after this, but we've got a lot to talk about today. So, yeah, we'll be back after this.
I'm Shotzi Blackheart, the ballsy badass, and you are watching the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. Remember to like the video and subscribe.
Hey! Oh! Check out the Marcus and Manny show.
I hate you both right now. You guys are ridiculous.
Manny, before you say a word, I'm really upset with that intro now.
Why?
I could have just used those images right there, and it would save me from the embarrassment and shame. We're just like this. Those are the images. That's the look I wanted. And we had it already. And I chose not to use it.
You didn't even have to bring that up.
I'll bring it up. My failures need to be put out. My therapist tells me my failures need to be brought out loud. Or something. I don't even have a therapist. Damn it. I'm out of control.
My therapist would enable you. He'd make you feel better about yourself.
Really? Oh, that's a good person. My therapist is about the you feel like shit. You're a piece of shit. Well, maybe because I am. Okay? Maybe deep down I am. Maybe we all are, Mr. Therapist Man. Maybe we all are.
Welcome to the show, the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. I'm not Manny Ace. He is Marcus the Grand Failure this week.
Yeah, Grand Failure. Yes. My name is Marcus Jacob Failure. Okay, the other MJF.
So, Ross said this just as we were going into the intro. And
Yo,
before you even
yo.
say it, I thought of the Crime Time voice instantly.
Yeah, right away. Yo. Whatever it says, it's
Drop your
crime
40s
time.
and check your rollies. It's Brooklyn.
Those are the days when tag team wrestling was great in WWE.
Was it?
No, it's never been great. Never, ever.
CTC for life. JBL is poopy.
Manny, I think we've read it. It's been 5 minutes. We've talked about enough stuff. Let's just dive right into MJF. Let's just go into it. Everything he had to say about AEW, Tony Khan, his contract, and WWE wrestlers, and everybody in the back.
Yeah, so he really went into it. It's being labeled as MJF Pipebomb, which I think is accurate.
Yeah.
He states nobody is on his level. Everything he touches turns to gold. I'm not so sure about that one. The whole pinnacle stuff in there.
There's some stuff. No, you know what? He did dance for dinner debonair. He brought attention. I could say if I was him, I 100% agree with these being. I've been hitting grand slams every night. If I was him,
I don't
has
think every
he?
night.
Probably not.
Probably
but
not.
He's delivered his part.
He said the boys in the back will want his spot. And he said, "Guess what? You can have my spot because I don't want to be here no more."
He's getting his little bag, putting it on the stick. He's walking away.
I wasn't even expecting.
Toy.
I keep forgetting that you keep wanting to do that. You keep
yes
referring to that.
I want to run away. Run away, run away. But no, he quit and said, fuck you and fuck that and fuck all this and all the stuff that TNT or TBS would censor in front of the execs. And then they cut his microphone off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He calls the fan uneducated marks, claims to be the best in the world because he's the only guy to make you feel, and he doesn't have to do a bunch of bullshit to get you there.
Oh my God. And I'm going to bring up a comment from Levi, which is almost accurate.
It is. But I feel like it's more Saturday show.
Saturday.
I say it's Saturday show, not. It is kind of. I think it's not a pipe bomb on a Thursday. It's more like what would you say? A match.
Well, I feel like this is the meal prep. We're prepping the meals, getting everything together, and then that shit is full of. We just decided to burn the shit on Saturday.
I know what it is. It's Eddie Kingston, zombie Eddie Kingston, coming to pour gasoline. But then on Saturday is where we light the match.
Yes.
Because zombie state is normally me and you because we're tired anyway on when we do these shows.
Yeah. So, Manny, after this rant and this pipe bomb, as it's being called, I have two questions. One, was this as good as CM Punk's pipe bomb back in the WWE all those years ago? And two, what is your overall thoughts? Is it a work, shoot? What do you got?
I think it's better because there's more going on now. Because like there was a whole lead up to it from like last weekend going into Double or Nothing of like, oh, MJF's missed this, and it helps because you've not only got Meltzer at that time, which is I think where the CM Punk era when he did it. It was mostly Meltzer and whatever other wrestling site. But now you've got way more now of like in the know people sort of reporting. So like wherever you looked, it was just MJF this, MJF that. So I think this was big. I think this is bigger.
I'm not sure I understand.
Wow.
Wow. You really are daft, Theory. Don't understand that.
So I think it's bigger. What was the second question?
Is this a work shoot? Was this legit?
I think it started off as a shoot, like back in March when there was an issue, when these stories first came out. They've obviously met up and kind of worked whatever out So like to continue this story because they wouldn't have done the CM Punk thing back in 2011 the way they did it unless they signed him. So I feel like this had more impact because you were more invested on it.
Yeah, but I also feel like where I may side with Punk at being better because it was the first time anything like that pretty much has ever happened.
Yeah.
And it was just more like, oh, this is a completely original. I may side with that. I do give this one more credit, as in it was more unpredictable than CM Punk of what he was going to say or what they were going, how far it was going to go. Because WWE has borders, right? They don't cross the line. They don't really curse. You're not gonna hear a lot of certain things. They're not gonna bring up the biggest rival promotion like CM Punk brought up Ring of Honor. That was not WWE's biggest rival back in 2012 or whatever it was. It was Impact.
Yeah, it was Impact, but like Impact. TNA. But he wasn't gonna even mention Impact.
Yeah, but he could have. But I think there was rules in which he couldn't. As the MJF was like, nah, fuck it, fire me. I'm going to WWE. You keep bringing in all these fired WWE guys. And here's the one thing that MJF didn't do that Punk did, which was correct. He attacked the boys. He attacked people in the back.
Well, they were attacking, allegedly, they're attacking him from the news stories earlier coming out Double or Nothing. So the comments, Ross said Punk was better in his opinion as it came out of nowhere and it brought so many eyes back to wrestling that had lapsed. I believe that. Sure. This has definitely brought the MJF one has brought more eyes back to AEW because like that one when it first happened, it was all like, where does Punk go? Because it was like, what's going to happen from this? Whereas like
there was no competition.
Yeah, there was nowhere really like. But now there's so much where he could go. Like New Japan is bigger than it was back in 2011. At the rise of AEW, Levi said Punk's pipe bomb was real because there was uncertainty involved. The moment MJF started on the TV with that promo, I knew the things had smoothed over. They definitely have smoothed over, and I think they're playing it quite well in terms of a work because AEW, like their social media, like Twitter, Instagram, I think their YouTube have nothing on what MJF has said.
You know what the best part about this is that, or the MJF promo, is that it makes the WWE fan watch AEW.
Yeah,
but there's no way, even I don't care how much hate you have in your heart, that you were a WWE fan and you did not go, yes, this is what I've been saying. And now they have their own guy saying it. I have to see where this goes next.
Well, and then we've got Chris, which I think is the Daniel Price and Chris. Chris.
Maybe, yes.
Punk's pipe bomb wasn't real. So the other thing is the placement. I would have put this at the end of the show.
No.
Because I didn't. Do you know anything after this? Miro came after this, so I did care about Miro coming back. But I didn't really care about anything that happened after this.
There was nothing after this. This was this. The beauty of the Punk thing, I think it ended Raw, right? I think it kind of ended Raw. Maybe it was a segment or a match after or something.
No. It ended Raw. Because
it ended Raw.
It was Cena and I want to think R-Truth in a tables match as the main event.
And I believe they were building, and they were building toward the Money in the Bank match, which I think is an all-time classic, and it might be the peak of CM Punk. I know he's great, whatever, but that is his absolute peak. That Money in the Bank match with John Cena. That story, pipe bomb, Money in the Bank, that week in Chicago. I don't think he can get better than that. I'm just saying that was just too huge.
Yeah,
and that's not taking a shot at anybody. That's just saying that is peak Punk. That is him at his ultimate power right there. Where was I going with that? Just I think the buzz that this has brought to professional wrestling. I don't think there's a single person that cared that it's a work at this point. It was that good.
Yeah, thing is, I would have wanted it to end AEW because I know I'm looking at this as AEW as after what happened with MJF. But I know, like, if the MJF thing happened afterwards, most of that stuff would have been fine in my head as I was watching it. But and it would have made me. I'm gonna watch it anyway. But like now, I have a reason to come back to AEW Dynamite next week. Whereas like normally they don't leave you with anything to come back to. Normally you're just doing it because you like wrestling. Whereas like this is like I definitely need to watch next week.
Yeah, and as much as I love this, I don't want anybody to forget that this might be a cautionary tale, though. This is a cautionary tale. One, I believe they worked it out and it's fine. But if they didn't, shit, the balls of Tony Khan had let this man air his grievances. But the cautionary tale is this. Every wrestling company, every single one, has had the owner, the evil owner, authority figure versus since Vince McMahon that runs the show, and then somehow that owner ends up in a wrestling match. I do not want to see MJF versus Tony Khan. I do not want to see Tony Khan be a wrestler. I do not want to see Tony Khan become Dixie Carter, Eric Bischoff, hell, even try to attempt to be what Vince McMahon was in the 90s.
See, so what you've just listed is everyone there, besides Dixie Carter, are probably better than Tony Khan in general as like a performer.
Yeah.
Of what you've seen Tony Khan do, and I specifically going back to the the Martha Hart bit on Double or Nothing, which I saw you saw in the crowd, but I saw on TV, stream, whatever. He's so awkward in general. Whenever he's on TV, he looks very awkward. So yes. I don't think he should ever even think about becoming an authority figure, TV figure.
Yeah, but I really hope that this doesn't lead to that. I don't know where we go from there as a story, though. It has to go there. But I don't want to see Tony Khan taking a Canadian destroyer. I don't want to see him falling through tables. Although it's going to get a reaction when he starts bleeding and stuff or whatever. I don't want to see this shit like that. I like everything about this except for Tony Khan, who I think is absolutely the worst performer to ever, or the worst person to ever take the microphone and try to be an authority figure of some kind.
So,
please stay away from this. Try to stay away from this, but I'm along for the ride. I'm not going to be critical right away.
So, I need to look at it. I need to mention this comment instantly. It's the promo Alex Wright wanted to do his whole time in WCW. All of them WWE boys coming in earning 5 times more, taking his spot. So
he's right. MJF was right in all of this, by the way.
Yeah,
he was not a single thing.
Everything he listed is correct.
Was incorrect. Yeah, whether it's the people in the back doing all their flips. Has he been hitting grand slams every week? Most of the time. Like, if I was to have somebody take the final shot of AEW, it's always going to be MJF. He's probably the most consistent on the microphone. Since day one, since the first Double or Nothing, he was the first star that stood out amongst everybody, like, right away. He was on board being accurate with saying wrestling fans saying he couldn't wrestle, because I was also one of those guys who was like, I don't think this guy can wrestle much. Good on Mike. And then you start seeing the wrestlers like, oh shit, he can wrestle. That we are fickle, and a lot of us are a bunch of mindless marks who can't make up their mind on what they like or what they hate. All of it was like, he's 100% accurate. And the fact that the crowd was booing him, but also chanting MJF shows how his accuracy. Post match or post interview right after they cut him off, and he was on his F tirade of fucking fire me and all that.
Yeah.
CM Punk walks out. I don't know why that happened.
Hey, apparently he chased him off a la the winning at Money in the Bank in 2011. But that was off camera, so it leads to what I said on Tuesday, where I believe MJF is going to win the title off CM Punk, possibly at their big show at the Arthur Ashe Stadium sometime in September, I'm guessing. But furthermore, talking about premonitions and stuff like that, I'm making assumptions. If you're a long listener of this particular show, Marcus made the premonition or the what else would you call it? The proclamation.
Proclamation, premonition.
That Tony Khan
hypothesis?
Tony Khan will eventually become a story, become a character, and it's going to be awful. So that's been the longest running thing going on the show, and it looks like
it happened in 2021.
It looks like what Marcus said back in 2021 or possibly 2020, and what I said on Tuesday, all coming to a clash.
All coming. In your opinion, and I know we're still on this Punk, or not Punk, but MJF stuff. Better opponent, Wardlow or MJF for CM Punk?
I don't think they're going to push Wardlow into a world heavyweight title. I think he's still TNT title level at the moment. Like they want to continue to rise, like what they're doing with Jade, like how they've done it with Jade. Like Wardlow's not going to go like a long undefeated streak, but like what they're doing with Jade, I think is what they're planning to do with Wardlow, because I think when you look at Wardlow could be the big star that they've created themselves. Really,
Yeah, from scratch.
Yeah,
but I think because you have an argument that Wardlow could win the title from Punk because he squashed Punk already. He beat the shit out of Punk in the MJF feud, and it was just could have walked away with anything. It wasn't a title match, but because he was just doing his master's bidding or whatever you want to call it. But he squashed him, and it seemed like you can go that route, or you could go the MJF route, in which he wins the title, and then Wardlow maybe goes after MJF and say, "I squashed him too."
Yeah. So this is a good question. No, not that.
This round is probably free at Maurice.
So Maurice says, I can see TK getting a proxy instead of him getting in the ring. Who would be a good proxy at this moment in time?
Kenny Omega. I don't know.
Nah, proxy. I think it's probably going to be Eric Bischoff again.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to see it because I feel like it still requires him to be like basically Paul Heyman or MVP or somebody's hype man. Maybe he gets recently departed from Impact Wrestling, W. Morrissey, to be his muscle.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think he's the guy for AEW. Levi said Joey Janela will be a good proxy. It feels like he's turned on AEW for some reason. And I don't understand why.
They're putting out decent stuff. And Levi's like, nah, I'm done. It's not my AEW. I love Winnie Chu.
I know what it is.
I love Winnie Chu.
I know what it is when things make a turn, wrestling hipsters then turn on the initial thing that they loved. Yeah, wrestling hipster Levi. I mean, he is employed.
Yeah, but he just and he makes more than MJF.
So does Mark Henry. And
can MJF have to go through a trial? Are we going to do that storyline in which, as MJF normally has people fight for his battles for him until you get to the pay-per-view, is Tony Khan going to make MJF fight all these battles until he gets to him? Yeah, and he has to fight all these wrestlers who make more money than him.
No, fight
all the ex-WWE guys. Yeah.
Fight for your freedom.
You want me to fire you? You're going to lose. I can see, the only thing I dread is Tony Khan being an old screen persona. Everything else about this is perfect. It was great. It was great. It is a wrestling moment. It was a promo that you'd be like, damn, I'm gonna remember this one. You can remember MJF went out there and said, fucking fire me, and you guys aren't shit in the back because you guys do your fucking moves and I don't wrestle as much or whatever the hell you hate me for. It was just insane. All these ex-WWE guys. I wonder how some of those people in the locker room who he apparently has separated himself from anyway, how do you feel about it now? Like, especially if Tony gave him the money.
Yeah, I don't know. Levi says, I like a good work. Wendy Chu is awesome. She's just a racist gimmick. How is being sleepy a racist gimmick? And lazy being a racist gimmick?
And apparently want to be champion? I don't understand her gimmick at all.
Yeah. So let's actually go through the rest of Dynamite. So actual stuff actually happened on the show, other than just MJF. The opening match was CM Punk, FTR versus Max Caster and the Gun Club. The new Dynamite set looks really good.
I like the ramp. ramp that has the logos and stuff on there.
I like that they have a ramp and then it leads to a floor, not this not the ramp that goes directly into the ring. I don't like that.
Yes. I think we were done with that after they killed Bryan Danielson.
Yeah. I think Bryan Danielson manifested that. Like, we need a change.
Shout out to the Ass Boys in this and for getting Ass Boy chance the entire match.
Shout out to Max Caster taking a shot at Amber Heard. Justice for Johnny Depp. Amber Heard has to pay $15 million for the world to know she's shit in his bed.
I feel like this was a defamation of character. Both people come off as horrible people. Yeah. Like, I would not want to, like, damn, you're an alcoholic, you shit in the bed. You're manipulative, you're abusive, and all that. I was like, I wouldn't want to. Fuck you people.
But then the opening match was really, really good for what it was. And then you hear from CM Punk. He wants to know who his Forbidden Door opponent is. And then it's the Ace.
Go Ace!
The man with the incredible hair.
Most beautiful hair in all of wrestling for over 20 years. Tanahashi comes out there, and I was okay with Tanahashi. Still a little disappointed it wasn't Okada.
Well, the rumors are, and this is courtesy of the mid-card mess. Someone posted it. The rumors are it's Hangman versus Okada.
Yeah.
Which I don't want to see.
I'm going to say it doesn't get my loins moving around for that one.
Well, I want to see CM Punk and Kenta, and then the loser can never use these GTS ever again.
Oh, that would be so dramatic. Oh, man.
Because technically CM Punk did steal it from him. CM Punk stole it from him.
It is 100% Kenta's move, but associated with CM Punk.
So I think they should have a battle, and then the loser can never use that move ever again.
But it's okay. It's it's going to be a pretty good match for him and Tanahashi. But disappointed it wasn't Okada. But I can see why you don't want your champion to lose. I'm assuming neither one was like, nah, I'm not taking that L. But if you rumor Hangman Page and Okada, that's disappointing too, because I want Danielson versus Okada. I don't know why that's not happening.
Because he's caught up in this nonsense with Blackpool Combat Club.
Yeah, that's side shit though. This is Forbidden Door. That's coming up before Blood and Guts. Let's get this shit out of the way for Forbidden Door, where I can have dream matches on dream matches that I thought I'd never have.
Whatever happened to Death Valley Driver? Does anyone use that move anymore? No, I think it died with The Godfather.
No, it's still being done. People do the rolling Death Valley Driver. It's done. I think we got one at Double or Nothing. They did it on the hardest part of the ring.
Ooh. Yeah.
Which was really double Death Valley Driver.
And then Johnny Elite put out an open challenge to anyone on the roster. Then he comes out, and then we get a video package of Miro saying he's back to redeem them all, even the pagans. I've been called a pagan before, and it's not a fun thing to be called.
What is a pagan? I heard him say, I was like, what the fuck is a pagan? But he's talking some shit. Talk your talk, Miro. Talk your talk.
He said his neck of sand is fixed, but his heart is broken, and he doesn't want to go home. But instead, he wants to take God home. I'm glad this character is back. I'm so happy this character is back.
The character is insane. And to me, he's a Bulgarian Mr. T. That's what he is. He just says random things, and you go like, fuck, he means it. I'm going to take God's home now. My heart is broken. My neck is no longer sand. I'm glad he fixed his neck.
And then the match was good. Like, it wasn't a squash like you thought it was going to be.
It was a squash.
It was a squash, but like
it was a glorified squash.
It's not the typical WWE type squash.
No. This wasn't like a Senga slapping somebody for some reason or Omos or something. This was a good match, and it was really nice to have Miro back. And I feel like he's been on the shelf for too long. And I hope this isn't like we see him. Yeah, I hope it's not we see him, and then he's gone for like 4 weeks and do like a pack, and he comes back every now and then.
No, I think he's back. But then apparently,
Scorpio
what was it? Lana spoiled the debut, the return of MIRO. She's like,
Damn it, Lana.
I've got reason to watch AEW this week. It's like, okay. Okay.
Which, damn, she doesn't watch it.
You're
Lana's
the reason.
not a real wrestling fan.
She was the reason that everyone couldn't do Twitch and stuff ever again.
Yes. She part OnlyFans and TikTok and Twitch and everything else. Lana, it's you. You ruined the wrestling for WWE. AJ Styles hates you and only you. Adam Cole would still be in the WWE if Lana didn't decide to complain about not being able to do her TikToks or Twitch or whatever she was doing.
Then we get the JAS segment. Marcus, Danny Magic really just irritates me to the hell.
Oh, he was at his worst today. I don't know. I didn't like him at all today either. He was at his worst. He was a full-blown blockhead.
I mean, he barely has a neck, too.
Yeah. He was completely unlikable in the segment.
Oh, he's so annoying. And then Regal said blood and guts like it was supposed to be War Games, and it doesn't hit the same. When I was scrolling for MJF stuff in the middle of the night, like all I see is Sean Ross Sapp and then Fightful go. He said the thing. I'm like, well, he didn't say War Games because that they don't have
War Games.
But blood and guts does not sound the same.
No. War Games is a better name, but
yeah,
they're going to do it, and I believe Ortiz tried to cut Jericho's hair in this one.
He did cut Jericho's hair.
Yeah, he did. He did actually take a lock and put it in his pocket.
So, yeah, that happened. Now Jericho wants Ortiz in a hair versus hair match.
Who's winning?
I think Jericho wants a haircut. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, Jericho's bald.
Jericho's thinning so bad that I think he wants a haircut.
I think he's done. I remember even in some of the images he would like that he would post on his Instagram, he's like filling in some of the bald areas or the thinning, like increase his hairline. He's done. I think he's gonna cut his hair.
Yeah. Then we get a 10-man tag, which was just basically a huge spot fest, but I enjoyed it for some reason.
It was what it was. It was there to entertain the crowd. It was 900 wrestlers involved, and everybody did a dive. Everybody did this, and you had everybody involved. It was fine.
I'm not feeling Hikuleo.
He's Haku's son. Don't have Haku beat your ass. Okay? Haku would personally come here and beat your ass if you say anything bad about Hikuleo.
I look like one of Haku's sons. He won't beat me.
He will.
Yes, he will.
He will. He's a scary man. He's a scary man. Been told that my whole fucking life. That this man will fuck you up. Not as a shoot. Not in the kayfabe. He never won. He never won his matches. I can't tell you a single thing Ming won or Haku, but I heard that he'll fuck you up. Man, free champion.
And then Athena came out. Cut the worst promo of the night, possibly of the week.
Randy, is this the worst promo you heard since Ember Moon cut a promo? They're the same person.
Yeah. This was terrible.
Yeah, well, it's been worse. It's been worse.
This was terrible. Thanks to Stokely, who sorted this other blur in a place. And then Jade with the Tony cut the shit.
Cut the shit, Tony, which is great. And they put that on a t-shirt. Just because. I'm sure they do. I'm sure this company has to cut the shit Tony shirt.
They need to. They're a t-shirt company. They need to. And then we get Wardlow versus JD Drake. He makes quick work of them. And then we learn that Wardlow had been taken to court for beating up arena security.
Finally, someone's doing something about this because he was out of control. There were a lot of innocent people there. Although no one's come after Lance Archer for the shit he was doing.
Would you though? That I'm not getting involved in All Lives Matter business.
Every single black staff member got thrown down that ramp by Lance Archer. Flipped around. Just bullshit.
Then we get a tag match between Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter versus Tony Storm and Ruby Soho.
What was this?
This match was just there.
Yeah, but what was the point of this? That's what I was trying to see. What was the point of this match? That they won.
Well, they still have beef with each other because of the tournament, don't they?
Yeah, but that's over. It's not like Britt has a title. I don't know. I just feel like, and then they let Ruby Soho get the win here. It's not like she's going after anything. I was baffled on why this happened. I mean, television wise, I understand why you wouldn't like. Oh, this is the thickness of Jamie Hayter versus the thickness of Tony Storm, and popular Britt Baker with rancid Ruby Soho. I see why it's on TV, but I don't understand why this match is happening or where we're going after this.
Do you find it strange that the women's division in AEW is now split between the whites and the blacks? Because Shida's nowhere to be seen, and even the Japanese ones are also on their own little area over there.
Yeah, AEW Dark.
It's a segregation. It's segregation with AEW women's division.
Yeah. What happens when these worlds collide? Oh, that's so true. What the fuck is going on?
No, because it used to be like the tag division when it was all like what was it? Andrade and
Street Profits.
Gaza and the Street Profits. It was just like, oh, we're just having
yeah,
we're just having race wars.
Yeah, Apollo and Lashley and shit. Oh, just black on black and whatever. The minorities fight the minority. Let them do their business over
but
here.
it just felt like the women's division is just segregated at the moment, and it's just like
it really is. The whites have their match, and then the black people fight for the TBS title. Yeah, I said it. With that being said, I don't want to see that Owen Hart title every week. I feel like Britt and Adam Cole are going to use that as real titles now.
Yeah.
Or they're going to carry it to the next tournament. I don't need to see that every week.
No, I don't need it to become like a holding piece like the FTW title. It's just a title.
Or the ring.
Yeah, the ring is the most stupidest one, to be honest. That's gone on for 3 years. That's the most stupidest thing.
Why is that stupid? That's fine. It's like a trophy. It's a ring. People get championship rings all the time.
And then Daniel Garcia versus Jon Moxley, which is good for what it was given. But yeah,
unnecessary blood. I feel like it was like, why?
I feel like that I could get away with that one because a cut can open up really quickly, especially if you had stitches.
Yeah, but
that one I allowed. That one, as I mocked for realism on Double or Nothing when they put the oxygen mask on MJF's eyes. This I could get down with.
I still thought it was unnecessary. And then I remember this episode being, as MJF pointed out, this is the TBS. All the execs are here to see if they're gonna re-up Dynamite or not. I feel like they're not gonna like this. I feel like they weren't gonna like that part of the blood. Like, why are they cussing and saying fucking shit and all this, and now they're bleeding for no reason, and they got this black woman who is on the show and she can't really talk. Talk about Athena.
Yeah, we all knew who you were talking about.
Yeah, they segregated their women. So I'm just curious how the Warner and TV execs saw the show, because all I saw was, we have a story here, we have money here, they have to sign MJF. If you won't sign him, Tony, TNT will sign MJF to be on your show every week.
So yeah, that we come to the end of Dynamite. What did you think of Dynamite? I think it was an enjoyable show, but they should have put the MJF thing at the end, because once you watch that, nothing else really matters.
Because you see everything he's talking about.
Yeah, but the thing is,
you see every single thing he's talking about, the show goes on.
Because I think that was the highest of highs. Like, if you were to do that on a graph, like, nothing anyone else did on that show was going to top that.
No.
So like,
or anybody this week. on any wrestling show.
Yeah, but the thing is, wrestling hasn't been that bad this week. If you start your week on a Sunday, which I don't, I start my week on a Monday. But like,
I start my week somewhere in the middle of a Wednesday.
But in theory, I watched Double or Nothing on a Monday. All the wrestling this week so far are mainstream, not the stuff that gets reviewed on ETE
or some of the random shit in Raw.
Yeah, it's been decent. Like NXT. I mean, I watched NXT today after knowing full well what's happening on AEW, and I was like, oh, I don't really want to watch this. But everything on it, I wouldn't necessarily say was bad. So like everything that actually generally happened on AEW was good. Like it was enjoyable TV. But like like we say a lot of the time with AEW Dynamite, placement sometimes needs to be better.
So I am going to say this, and this may come off as a hot take, or I'm on some Kendrick Perkins shit. But Manny, I am going to record and say this was a classic episode of Dynamite. Unforgettable episode. Unforgettable. Not because of everybody else. It's because what MJF did at the beginning of the show. So I'm going to come back to this episode and be like, wow, this is great with MIRO and all that and stuff like this. Like this was AEW hitting it out the park.
So I want to point this out. So I think this is going to be one of those things like how me and Romos and you occasionally on the Raw is Retro show. It's because Ross is 6'11" or whatever. However, I think he's 6'7". How there's certain moments in history in 1998 which are like iconic in terms of the Attitude Era. We're going to go back and look at AEW and for that particular show, if we were to ever do in 10 years from now, do an AEW is Retro, which we're not. I will be in my 40s and I will not be hoping not to be reviewing Dynamite.
If we did AEW is Retro, you would not be in your 40s. Because if you do it at the Raw scale, it's about 20 years.
I'll be in my 50s. Yeah, so I think it's going to be like that moment because like when you go back and look at some of the stuff that we've reviewed so far, where like DX invading WCW, that whole episode of Raw was shit. like what we've learned from Raw is Retro is some of the most iconic moments on Raw are also on terrible episodes of Raw.
Yes, because Manny, let me ask you something. Do you remember that CM Punk episode, the Pipe Bomb? Do you remember anything else in that show? I know you brought the tables match at the end or something.
Yeah, no, but that's a pure guess. Because I remember John Cena being put through a table and he was just lying there watching CM Punk.
That's John Cena's career, and when he loses, he's getting put through a table. But you will not remember. You do not remember a single thing about the episode other than crisscross applesauce, Hey Colt Cabana, and I could go to Ring of Honor. My contract is up, and I will walk out the WWE champion. And your stupid son-in-law and your idiot wife or daughter or all that stuff.
Yeah. So, yes, watch Raw is Retro tomorrow with me and Romos or the Big Ross Man. I'm thinking I'm going with Romos because it generally sounds more funnier.
Depending on the day, he could be the Big Ross Man.
Well, also donate to the show so we can add a wheel to the list of names that we can use on Raw is Retro. That is why we need your donations. So let's get into NXT.
By the way, if we ever get this T-shirt maker and start making our own shirt, the Big Ross Man shirt is just him in his Big Boss Man outfit that he has in a blue shirt, and
he was dressed up as Hulk Hogan in that picture.
Was he? I thought he was Boss Man. No, he was Big Boss Man.
No, he was Hulk Hogan.
His friend was Hulk Hogan, right?
Yeah, his friend was Hulk Hogan in that photo.
That's fucking weird. Man. Can't have that. You can't have that. It'd just be that picture on the shirt, dude.
So NXT opened up with Pretty Deadly versus Damon Kemp. For some reason, the whole night I kept thinking his name was Nathan Kemp and Roderick Strong.
Wait, what would you call him? Nathan Kemp?
Nathan Kemp.
I was like, Nathan.
The match was pretty good. I think Damon Kemp has something there.
Yeah, I think he really fires up really well.
Like
when he got slapped by Roddy,
he slapped the shit out of him.
He slapped the shit out of him, and it literally he had this edge to him that like, oh damn, he fires up good. It reminded me of Kurt Angle, Ken Shamrock when they fire up. Those are some good fire ups, like after the hot tag or whatever. And then he just went at him, and he just started doing all his flips and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, there's something here.
Ken Shamrock never fired up. Ken Shamrock never fired up. He snapped.
I'm sorry. He snapped. He snapped. By the way, Manny, as I'm watching old Raw for Raw's Retro, goddamn, is Ken Shamrock still fighting members of the Nation of Domination? Does he ever fight anybody else?
No. What I've recalled from that, and I know we've drifted into Boys Retro territory, which is on Fridays. He's now going to move into a feud with Owen Hart.
Yeah.
Who is now part of the Nation.
Yes, I'm at the point where I'm going to say The Rock's greatest rival was Ken Shamrock. How many times they have been outside together in the ring?
Ross said I was dressed as the fine, upstanding citizen Hulk Hogan. I am unaware of any issues Hogan has ever had outside the ring. That sounds like a statement that you've been called. That sounds like a statement you've had to make.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. That is so well written, too.
So in the back, Roddy says, if the Creeds don't win at In Your House, they are out of Diamond Mine.
Yeah. And what do you have happening? I don't have them winning. I'm assuming they're going to separate.
I don't have them winning, but I feel like they're going to chuck out Roddy, and I think Roddy's going to be on his way out. Because it feels like Roddy's on his way out.
Yeah.
This is why there's this whole breaking up story. I feel like Roddy is the one that's going to be on his way out.
I feel like Roddy did the MJF thing when he didn't show up last week. I'm not show up to this shit anymore. Just come on, Roddy. We'll write you off. It's fine, you know.
And I think there's a few episodes of NXT that are going to be taped in the next few weeks. I think they're doing one live show, and then the rest are going to be back-to-back tapings because I think they're having work done to the Performance Center.
This is coming. I feel like NXT is coming to an end, Manny. Once you start taping the show, I feel like it's coming to the end.
No, I think they've done it before. I think it's because they had to do work in the Performance Center, so it would have just clashed with whatever they were doing. That makes sense, but I feel like they need to be on the road at some point.
Well, they are going to the road, and
but it's like house shows. It's just live events. It's not. They need to get out of the Performance Center. Yeah,
I enjoy NXT 2.0 and all its glory, even the weirdness. It's a stupid weird. It really is a change up of wrestling shows when you watch every day. If you watch Dynamite and NXT, it is night and day. If you watch Raw and NXT and SmackDown, it is night and day from any other product that WWE has.
Yeah,
or any wrestling show, to be honest.
So we get the meeting of the bosses.
Yes.
On
the boat.
Yeah. They settle on a 6-man tag. The loser's becoming a member of the winner's family. Who you got winning that? Because I'm going to enjoy this thoroughly on Saturday.
Manny, I don't know. Because I can see Santos, going to join the family or, the Don.
I think it's going to be Santos. And then the feud is going to continue.
Is it any member or is it just
the whole of them? No, the whole of them have to join.
Okay.
So it's basically going to be that I'm going to become tag team partners with my enemy kind of nonsense.
Yeah. This is a legit hostile takeover. But this fact should be pretty good if they formed. I think you got some young talent in there with the guys stacks and 2 dimes. And you got the Del Toro now.
Well, Marcus, you know what this is, right?
What?
This is the House of Hardy joining with Andrade's faction. You know that, right?
Yeah, but these guys aren't in their 40s.
Santos is doing a better Andrade than Andrade's doing currently.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's a better Andrade. Like Andrade can't Andrade like Santos right now. Santos is a better cartel leader than him.
Like no further mention of Andrade and Roosh on Dynamite this week. Like that thing just happened, and then no mention of it ever again.
You know, that is kind of my main problem with Dynamite or AEW in general. House of Black finally got Julia Hart. We're not gonna hear about that for 3 weeks again.
Yeah.
We're not gonna see we're not gonna see them all together again. Or like you said, Roosh and Andrade talk about we need to be these partners. It seems to be like I don't know what he said, but yes, no, that's never gonna be. We're not gonna hear about that until Andrade's done with his honeymoon and if Tony has a spot for him.
Yeah. Then we get Cora Jade versus Elektra Lopez. This match was just there. However, this is now Elektra Lopez's best match from last week.
Was it better than last week? I don't know.
Yeah, because last week was a complete squash. These two had no chemistry in the ring whatsoever.
No. This was messy and sloppy. And, you know, of all these bad Elektra Lopez matches, I'm officially going to say I think it's her. I think
it's definitely her.
Yeah, there was an arm drag or reversal where she was in slow motion and did a roll, and I was like, "Oh man, she's bad."
Thing is, B-Fab got fired for her in ring wrestling. I feel like Elektra Lopez should be moved on as well.
You know what? That's 100% true. I think B-Fab deserved a better opponent than because Elektra Lopez is bad. She is bad.
The Bird Lady and Friend are better than her, Elektra Lopez. Yeah. And we joke about the Bird Lady, but they are more solid than Elektra Lopez.
Virgil Peralta was better than Elektra Lopez.
Yeah. And then we get Wesley versus Zion Quinn. And Sanga's a nice guy.
Sanga is a nice guy. Come on, little friend.
You may not be a giant. And you may not be big. But you have big heart.
Aww. From Sanga. And then my favorite moment, and I don't know why, it felt very sitcom-y or old 80s TV show.
When
after
the
Wesley
back.
left. Yeah, they did the look back.
The look back was perfect.
Yes. And they both in agreement, he's going to die.
But the match was good, and then Wesley won with a roll-up.
Wesley is making the best of a terrible situation, I feel like, and they're doing right by him by just trying to give him something to do. Since this, I think Zion Quinn is a much better heel than whatever he was doing before he was healing.
Oh, so, he's being a nice guy. He was being the gentleman.
Yeah, he's trying to. I think he encouraging like Malik Blade or Dolphy or somebody. Oh no, it was Draco.
Draco to stop listening to thing, and then Draco went wild, and we haven't seen him again. Was he released? He was released.
Yeah.
The Gacy Mind Games continue. The promo was excellent. The promo really was good. The character development in that has been great. I think, Marcus, then call me crazy.
I'm going to call you crazy already.
But maybe the next Bray Wyatt.
Well, Bray Wyatt's talking about he the next Bray Wyatt. As in his tweets, talking about I'm almost ready to come back.
Yeah, but I think I'm over it.
If he came out in Hell in a Cell, Eddie, and tears off the door, are you going to say, holy shit, it's the Fiend? Or are you just going to be like, this is it?
By now, they could have recast the Fiend.
Well, the original Fiend was set on fire and died, and that horrible.
Because if you think about it, how many TV shows have they recast as main host? Like if he was doing like a spin-off of Blue's Clues. How many times did the guy in Blue's Clues change? And it's different in every country. The host of Blue's Clues.
They did recast Bray Wyatt, Manny. When he became difficult, they recast him with Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, but that's over now, and I need more Firefly Funhouse.
But what were we talking about? Oh, Joe Gacy and his mind games. No, I guess we can lump them all together. He has all this football footage, all of this stuff put together. This man has done his homework and research.
I don't know how he's done this, because this is very creepy. Where how he's got all this, he's obtained all this stuff.
Yes, My favorite thing was Braun Breaker getting ready to do what Braun Breaker does, I guess, break things. And he grabbed the TV, he was going to slam it. It was like, no, I have Braun calm now, not Braun Breaker. This is what he wants.
Yeah. And then we get a championship summit, which was just as bad as Athena, actually.
I enjoyed the shit out of this.
I enjoyed the aftermath. I did not enjoy getting there.
I enjoyed getting there because Winnie Chu yelling, just sign the contract.
Sign the contract.
And Mandy having to talk her talk of why she's the greatest thing in wrestling. And I was like, Mandy has fully come into her own. She's in full Ric Flair mode. And those people did not let her. They were trying to shut the fuck up. And then she got loud and she seemed to be really visibly upset. I enjoyed the summit. I don't know. It was fine. I enjoyed the formerly KC Express. They still probably are the KC Express. Just different names.
But the only name that's changed is it's Katana. Now. Yeah. So she's still KC.
Oh yeah, so it's Kane the Car. Yeah. So they were frustrated, them ducking them, and they tracked. I was like, oh man, this is good. I was invested. I don't know why.
And then Mandy got put through a table.
This is the happiest I've ever seen people go put somebody through a table. Katana's reacted before anything happens and not put any work in. This is like a group project in which Katana was there and she didn't put any work in.
I don't think she did. Then we get they get the match of Solo Sikoa versus Duke Hudson, who was allegedly, according to some weird sources, is Jake Atlas's boyfriend, apparently.
Abused boyfriend, I guess. But then when I saw him this week, I went, nah, not this Duke Hudson.
I don't think that story's running anymore, is it?
Nah, no one cares anymore. But Jake Atlas was arrested. We were supposed to talk about that on the last show, but just like Jake Atlas' career at this point, no one cared. Solo. He's next. He wins his he won this match, right? Or was it DQ or something? I forgot. Yo.
Solo, do you know when I'm hoping on Saturday, I think Grimes retains and Sikoa beats him, because if he doesn't win at this point, he's just going to be Santos, where he talks a big game and then doesn't actually achieve anything.
So you want Solo to be Grimes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
I mean,
I kind of want Grimes to lose. I'm really liking the North American division. I guess that's what it's called. The mid-card division is pretty good. I like everybody involved. Like the Mello and Trick are just a great combo duo. And they were on commentary, I believe. That was at the main event. They were on commentary.
Yeah.
But I just, this was solid. Duke is in the next set of releases.
And then Thea has graduated high school.
Yes.
This is a great segment.
Yes. I saw it coming, but didn't see it coming.
No, I didn't see it coming, because when they put the 3 hats there, I didn't see it coming. I was like, oh, maybe she is going to university or college. So and so maybe she's just going to continue training. That's what I thought in my head, because I was just like, why are they showing this child essentially graduate high school? And then it's like, no, none of these hats feel right. Pulls the one underneath the table, chase you, and then you're like, yeah.
And I was like, that is so perfect. It was a setup that we all probably should have saw coming. But
you know wholesome moments in wrestling is that.
In the back of my mind, I was like, it'd be funny if she announced she was going to chase you. And it was like, I forgot about it. And then when it was happening, I totally forgot. And then when she did it, I was like, oh, she did it. The only person missing from this was Saray, who I thought was in Chase U, but I guess she's not.
I think she is. I just think she was in the background and you just didn't notice her. Like how that time when she was in the ground with the flag.
Love Chase U. Love it.
Josh Briggs versus Grayson Waller. Josh Briggs has an attitude and swagger of a top guy. but the ability of a jobber.
1000%. This dude walks around like he has a big game. He reminds me he has a JBL-ish thing about him, in which he's a badass. He can do all this, but then when you see him in the ring, and you go like,
"What? It's this?
This is like
Missing.
His punches never connect. His boots never connect."
And this is one of Eric's boys, but I mean, this is Eric's boys match. Like, he loves the Smoking Guns 2.0, and then he likes Waller, but no, man.
This is not it.
And then Von Wagner gets involved in this again.
Yeah. Well, now that he came down with I keep forgetting her name.
Sophia Cromwell.
Yeah.
And
Sophia Cromwell and
Robert Stone.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting Robert Stone's name because he hasn't been on TV for so long.
I want to call him Robbie E at this current point, but they have a segment, and Von Wagner, he exists. I don't understand where it's going. He fits the same build as Briggs. This guy should be a bigger deal, but maybe there's nothing there.
Yeah. And then we get Ivy Now versus Kiana James. It's a nice little match. I like Ivy Now.
But man, the feud started in a simple easy. All you do is work out. I like to stay prepared when I'm ready. Well, you aren't educated. Or something.
Well, you know what this was, Marcus. It's basically almost the start of every 90s or 80s porno.
It was.
And then, yeah, and I like Ivy Now, but I think they protect her too much because she's actually kind of good in the ring.
Yeah. Very talented. Again, everybody Dynamite is pretty good. I think that you continue to push her and have these small matches so she can continue to get better. I don't know how she's doing long doses of matches or anything. I put her in the same category as legit Layla Hirsch, who is, I believe, healing up in all her petty.
I think legit Layla Hirsch is going to be off TV for a while because she got injured.
Something like that. But I think Ivy Now can fit in that range.
Ghostface Punk says, I don't think it was a shoot. No, we generally think the MJF thing was a work at this point.
Oh, it's 90% worked, but honest. If it is a part of a storyline, but everything that was said in that ring was exactly how MJF probably felt when he was getting lowballed in his contract or whatever, his negotiations. Pay that man his money, Tony.
And then at the end of the match, Pretty Deadly come out. Yes, boys. Come out and question what's Ivy going to do when Diamond Mine closes. The Creeds come out to prevent some. I didn't think Pretty Deadly were going to come attack her.
I would like to explain that to Diamond Mine. I don't think Pretty Deadly was about to put hands on them women, but they just might.
They might.
And you don't want to be Ivy Now to be like, where the fuck were you guys? I didn't think they'd do it. I didn't think they'd do it. The fucking dude slapped the shit out of her.
And then they hold up the titles and they run off Pretty Deadly. And then we get the main event, Marcus, and I wasn't expecting. I didn't think this was actually going to happen. Cameron Grimes versus Nathan Frazier with Mello and Trick on commentary. Trick just cracks me off.
Yes.
I'm going to say something nice about Nathan Frazier. Something nice. There, I did it.
I did it. That's like great character Trick, and in a match that I want to say impossible to follow this week. This was a fantastic match.
It was good. Do you know what the problem I have with this is? I feel like this deserved more time than the 10, 12 minutes it got on TV.
Yeah. But this you saved that for a later date, I guess, at In Your House. But this was a fantastic match. I was like, man, this was everything. This was the best I've seen Nathan Frazier since he was called Ben Carter on AEW Dark.
But the problem I got here is Nathan Frazier's good in ring, but what we've seen of him on like talking has not been good. He can get better, but like it may be one of those things where we question whether they need a mouthpiece or not.
Well, he's one of those guys that just seem like he needs to find his character. His current character is I'm Nathan Frazier. I'm fast. That's kind of his.
Well, he's basically Ricochet on NXT.
Yeah.
He's basically Ricochet because Ricochet still seems lost in what he's doing.
He needs. I know that he was trained by Seth Rollins, but he needs Seth Rollins to.
The thing is, you don't want him aligned. Yeah, you can't have him aligned with Seth Rollins, so that's the main problem there.
Yeah. Right now it's not the time, but I can see down the line. Seth got a bunch more years left in him. But if he needs a new Buddy Murphy, Nathan Frazier would be a good Buddy Murphy, and maybe he'd get some of that freaking. He'd be Nathan freaking Frazier at this point.
Oh yeah. So NXT was a nice little show, but like Dynamite actually had the Dynamite this week.
Yeah, Dynamite brought it. They brought it. It was. You are not beating that segment this week, no matter what you're doing. I don't care how many times you throw Mick Foley off the top of the Hell in the Cell. You are not beating what MJF said.
Yeah, but speaking of, we do have a King of the Ring watch along coming at the end of the month. King of the Ring 1998 coming at the end of the month, which follows the Raw is Retro series, which is out on every Friday. And if you didn't watch yesterday, go back and watch it on the channel ETE. You learn about Hog, or I can't remember the full name of it. House of Glory.
You learned about Hog? He made it sound like it was a bad wrestler. Well, we want to go over the history of the indie wrestler known as Hog. He's 44 years old and never got his real shine in the business, but one of the best technical wrestlers there is. He got the name Hog because he's so dirty with his tactics. He's as dirty as a pig in slop. They started calling him Hog. No. As I made that gimmick up on the fly, it
sounds like the Godwins. It sounds like the Godwins.
Yes. Marcus shows clips of Godwins. But yeah, check out ETE. Again, it is the most educational wrestling show you would get on any wrestler going on. You can learn about Charles Mason, who he's basically just MJF, who became a serial killer or something like that. Or you get to learn about Sweet Cheeks, who is the legacy of the Big Boss Man, essentially, in which he's a cop who is basically wrestling as Officer Dangle from Reno 911, and he has a team of cops, and they said some racist shit apparently at the show that was not aired on TV.
Watch that show. It's generally entertaining. I didn't watch it live yesterday because I was in an appointment, so I watched it after I finished watching AEW and NXT today. Enjoyable show. Go watch it.
Yep. It's a shorter show for change because I had to leave, but it's really entertaining, and especially that video game discussion we had 2 weeks ago. That should probably be its own clip. I'm just talking about old ass video games.
I think the thing is, I don't think that should be a clip. I think we need to redo that with everyone because I think like Eric is a big gamer. I'm a big gamer. You not so much these days.
I'm retired. I have fond memories of my gaming days.
Yeah, so I think we need to involve the rest of us in that discussion.
The greatest wrestling game of all time. And also check out the greatest wrestling match of all time. Alicia Fox and Melina. The quest will continue. There will be another entry to this one day where we look at another match of Melina and Alicia Fox to determine, was it the greatest match
of all time?
Or the one that Cameron saw that changed her life forever.
As we try and work out which one we see. Although Montez Red Cup said we should go back and rewatch all the worst matches according to PWI.
I can't. I know how much I enjoy it. And then that's also called Raw is Retro.
Yeah, Raw is Retro is out tomorrow. It's out when it's out. Make sure you subscribe and click the notifications, and you'll see when it comes out.
I create another graphic next week, Betty. Don't worry.
For what?
For our schedule for the week.
Oh yeah.
Because I think I'm recording 6 days straight or something on this show.
I think you are, because I I don't do Wednesdays, do I?
Yeah. So I don't do wait. I'm not doing Monday. I think that's
You
the
don't
only
do
one.
you don't do Monday and Sunday, whereas I don't do Monday,
Sundays
Wednesday.
every now and then. Hell in the Cell watch along by me since Sunday.
Yeah, but those are watch alongs, so they're different.
that counts for the show. I'm saying that this Sunday, another day.
Do you know when Eric? So this is completely off topic. Eric said that he doesn't have his car appointment or whatever it was.
Yeah, the services car or something. I don't know.
Did that imply that he actually wants to do a show on Saturday?
Yeah, he's prepared to do the show. He's watched everything, I think.
So do the show on Saturday, take a break, and then do the watch along.
Yes, in your house, and then stop, take another break, come back into Hell in a Cell.
Well, that's a bigger break. That's a whole day.
And then you got Cody and Seth and their bullshit.
Yeah.
Great segments this week. I think Cody and Seth, classic segment. MJF clearly blows that out the water. Winning Q jumping to a table always counts.
So it's just a question of what does SmackDown bring to the table this week?
Is Roman even gonna be on the show?
No, I don't think so. Roman's
I don't
on
know
vacation.
what's back up. Yeah. Roman is fine being the attraction that he is.
Yeah, Roman's on vacation. He don't care anymore.
By the way, we didn't have a show last week. Shout out to Shotzi Blackheart finally getting TV time, but locked out into her room, which seems like it's unsafe. And then at the Airbnb we were staying at, I realized that on the outside you could lock me into a room that I was in. I was like, and I couldn't get out if you could. Eric didn't. I noticed that myself, and I was like, why would you have doors like this? Why would they lock me outside the door? Why are you protecting the world from
kidnappers?
Yeah,
it's the B&B that kidnappers use for ransoms.
Oh, here's your room. Just stay here. All right. Hey, why'd you close the door behind me? Why'd you close the door behind me? Let me out! Let me out! No!
So on that note, me and Marcus will be back all through the week. You'll see either on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we'll be back again on Tuesday. So like the video, subscribe, click that notification bell. Peace.